What I did today was I came up with some random questions, just kind of thinking about random Browns topics. So I'm going to throw those at both of you. And the first one kind of has to do with this Michael Woods situation. They lose Michael Woods for the season. Obviously, a devastating injury for him, but we're not going to get to the end of the season and think to ourselves, man, things would have been different if Michael Woods would have been healthy. So I was thinking, who is the one Browns player outside of Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett? So those are the obvious, like they're off the boards for this question. Who is the one Browns player besides Deshaun Watson or Myles Garrett that they cannot afford to lose this season? Mary Kay, do you have a good one? I'm just springing these on you guys. There was no prep done here, so.
Yeah, I'm going to say Amari Cooper. I just think that Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson are going to be the keys to scoring the football this year. Amari had 9 touchdown catches last year, and that was with Jacoby Brissett playing for 11 games, Deshaun playing with only 6. So, I did a story today where about Tyreek Hill saying that he would have loved to have played with Deshaun Watson. Well, they just weren't, any worse for the wear and tear for having traded for Amari Cooper instead of Tyreek Hill, I don't think. I mean, he really had a phenomenal season, again, especially considering that he only had 6 games with Deshaun Watson. Really eager to see what those two guys are going to do together. And I think when you have someone like that can catch so many touchdown passes and can perform at the level that he does, I just think that that he's going to be dynamite this year. And because he is the best receiver on that core, I just really don't think that you can afford to lose him.
Okay, so Ashley, what's your pick for this question?
This is tough. And I have I'll go with the offensive side of the ball because there were a few names that came to mind. But I'm going to say Nick Chubb just because that running back room to me suddenly now has a little bit less depth if we are assuming Kareem Hunt's not going to come back. I think my answer would change if, never say never, Kareem does make a return to Cleveland. But I still think for as much as Deshaun Watson can do on the ground, your offense and your ability to kind of distract opposing defenses really hurts you as the quarterback if Nick Chubb is suddenly no longer out there.
I was thinking about saying Nick Chubb too if you didn't. And I think even if Kareem Hunt were back, I would say Nick Chubb because I think the Kareem Hunt we saw last year is not a guy I want carrying the ball 15, 20 times a game. So I'd be nervous if that was the version of Kareem Hunt that they got. Even I thought he was fine for what he was, but I would not want him to be the featured back. So there's a few ways I could go here. I was thinking on the offensive line, maybe there's somebody, but I want to go on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm actually going to go with a new guy, and I'm going to say Dalvin Tomlinson. Because if Dalvin Tomlinson gets hurt, you're sort of back where you were last year, where you've got to cobble it together with, now obviously they've added some more depth there with like a Maurice Hurst, a Tristan Hill. They're still looking at guys at that position. There's still the draft to come, but you all of a sudden feel a lot worse about how that group looks when you've tried to remake it and tried to make it different. If Dalvin Tomlinson, your big money defensive signing this offseason, gets hurt and can't play, I don't think that's not as devastating as Nick Chubb or Amari Cooper or even, maybe even like a Joel Bitonio or somebody like that. But I think that would still be a pretty significant injury, Mary Kay, to lose that player.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, they went out in this free agency cycle and they targeted first Javon Hargrave. They were willing to throw a bunch of money at Javon Hargrave. And then when they pivoted and came off of that because it got a little bit too high, they went to their second choice, basically, and that was Dalvin Tomlinson. And I do think that he is an absolute key to this defense being really good this season. And I think he fits exactly what Jim Schwartz is looking for at that position. And you're right, they are back to square one. We don't know what else they're going to do there. They had Al Woods in, a veteran defensive tackle, yesterday. They did not sign him. They're not sure that they are going to sign him yet. So Dalvin is it. He's the big upgrade. He was the big target in free agency again. And he is very, very pivotal for this defense this year.
Yeah, Ash, I mean, it's a guy we haven't even seen on the field.